What's up, my friends? Today we're going to learn a little Scott Joplin. By request, I'm going to be the entertainer. Now, hopefully, you can read notes a little bit. But if you can't, we can still go along with this. But it'd be good if you had the music with you. I think this is on public domain, or if you have the book, that'd be even better. So let's learn some Joplin. All right, let's start at the very beginning. Now, the first page usually has some suggestions. Now, the first part of this says, not too fast. We're in a ragtime two-step, 2/4 time, and we see this little run in the beginning that we all know. Right? So, the notes for that, we got 16th notes it starts with, and in my book it says not too fast, because right away when somebody sees 16th notes we think we're going to start racing, but we're just kind of chilling along with this thing. So it's, and it just repeats the next octave down. So we gotta notice the fingers I'm using, so I don't have to move around too much. Okay? Now, when we get down to this run, so I switch my fingers. Put 2 down here. Okay? Now you can't see the left hand here, but it's a G octave at the bottom. So this last part. Okay? Now, a big thing in any kind of piece that we got the music for and whatnot is you got to pay attention to the dynamic markings. What do I mean by that? Well, in my music, and hopefully in yours it should be there, there's a big F, which means forte, in the very first measure, measure 1. When we're starting out, this should be kind of loud. You're like making your entrance. And then this is accented. There's that little check mark there kind of thing. That's an accent. So we're like, that's like the final note of this little entrance. Like, here I come, and then bam, there I am. And that part is soft. So in the music, you can see at the end of measure 4, we have that accent, and then it's supposed to get quieter from this point on. So keep that in mind. We got the piano there, which is that P in measure 5. And the left hand is, our ragtime sound. Okay? Now, when I learned this song, I always did the left hand by itself for a while to get used to this jumping around, because it's hard to get used to at first, and it's easy to miss these while you're trying to play both hands. So for me, basically you're not going to be able to watch both hands all the time. You're going to have to get really comfortable with probably the right hand without looking at it too much. Of course you're going to glance here and there, but you're going to be looking at the left hand because you're jumping a lot. So in the music, we got a C here, to a G, okay, that's at measure 5 and 6. Okay, so then the right hand, we go back from the pickup, measure 4, we have to E to C. So, and then we have now that part's loud. Now the way to learn this is to maybe start out with this first. See that? Then do all those notes with octaves. This is how you get to learn it. And when you're comfortable with that, then do the actual original, which is adding the third here with your pointer. Now what's luckily in the music is the left hand notes line up with where your right hand should be and where your left hand should be. So it's easy to, you could tell when you're off rhythm by the music if you're not lining up at the end of the measures or in between when they're supposed to be lined up. So if you play this slow, here's how it should look. Into it. This is different. Alright, so that part, starting on measure 9, the same left hand, let's do the left hand first. This changes. Okay? So where it changes, we're on the F here. E, E flat, D. And then we have this big D major, actually D 7th chord. That's a nice part, is once you hit this D major, you're already there, you're already in position. You just hit the pinky and D. Okay, so we'll do that in context. Notice the dynamics, so important. This is kind of like, you know, somebody's just chilling out, being quiet. What's going to happen? And then loud and soft. So when we do that run up in the left hand bass, we go. And then we're back to quiet. So that is in measure 12. And actually we just play the pinky starting in 13. We're back into the theme again. So let me play that again so we have the right frame of mind. So So that part changes up a little different. There's subtle differences sometimes at the end of these phrases. So we go. They just invert the C chord again. Then my book has to turn the page. We're up here. I always do, of course, again, the left hand. Get comfortable with the left. So check this out. We have and then we repeat. There's a first and second ending at the end of that phrase. So you can repeat with the real song you're supposed to repeat. And then after we go through all the same stuff again, we go to the second ending, and then we start a new section. And that section is a lot of fun. So the right hand on the main theme, this is like the big climax of this opening theme. We have so it's just octaves to start out with. And then the thirds. We add that third in there. Now, I'll play this slow with the left hand. I'm showing you the left hand. So together, now I would be very comfortable at the left. I mean, you should be able to do this easily. So together we have we start over. Or we go to the second ending. That's the next part. Now, in the left hand, in the bass, you'll see pedal markings. It looks like a little line with little ends on it, and that's for pedal. When you see the line come down, that's when you're supposed to press the pedal, and when it ends, lift it. So we're pressing the pedal on each one of these left hand marks. If you don't do anything, like when I was just teaching, it's very, very dry and it doesn't sound as good. So when you get good with these notes, then you add the pedal. And in between each one of those left-hand notes, and of course we're changing it every time you change the octave in the bass. So we're holding the pedal here, lift, press again, lift, press again. You don't want this. That'd be awful. So you're changing between every second note. So change, 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 change. And that's how you get that effect. Now it's going to take some practice. With pieces like this, it takes a lot longer to get these dynamic punctuations correct versus learning the notes. Learning the notes is like just part of the battle. To really make this sound good and be an awesome pianist, then you got to pay attention to all the dynamic markings. It makes the huge difference. So practice this part, get it perfect, and then go on to the next section.